Hello and welcome to the inaugural episode of Take 5 HOA, Thoughts on Technology and Business in 5 Minutes. This is Sherry Nureni, your host, and I'm also president of Captive Touch, the company that sponsors these events. So what is going to be the format of these shows? I'm going to introduce a topic, a thought, or something that is going on in my head, an idea that I think people should hear. I want to share it and get people feedback, or it's so exciting, I just want to share it with people. And then I'm going to introduce it in 5 minutes or less. And then we're going to have a discussion in a community that I've created for this show, with the same name, Take5 HOA. The link to the community is in the description of the video if you're watching on YouTube, or if you're on the event page, this way, on the event page. So please, if you'd like to take part in the discussions, click on the link and join the community. Why did I decide to do this type of video? So some of you may know that I used to have long format HOAs, which I started pretty much about a month after Hangouts became available. And I did it for about maybe a year and a half, close to 2 years. And then starting January of this year, I stopped doing them, and I started just paying attention to what everyone's doing. And there were so many fantastic shows that came that I wanted to watch, and I encourage everybody to watch on a regular basis. And I noticed that I'm getting basically inundated by invitations to long format hangouts. There was just too many for me to watch, so I just chose a few of them, and I said yes, and I watched them whenever I had time. Otherwise, you can spend all your day attending HOAs. So what I did, I started listening to and watching what is happening on the HOAs, and I noticed two things. One of the things that I noticed was that most of the discussions during Hangouts happens before the Hangout on the event page, during, and probably a lot during the Hangout, but also a lot of discussion happens after the Hangout. So a lot of the discussions around Hangouts happens as text conversations, and I think that nature of the fact that people just don't have time to attend live events all the time. Another thing that I noticed was that these fabulous long HOAs, there's so many nuggets of wisdom in it. What turned out was that people started chopping them down into little pieces and then saved them. So they saved the take-home message and nuggets of wisdom in those videos into little pieces. So what I thought was that, okay, I wanted to start doing something new that meets the needs of busy professionals like me and you. So I thought, why not we just start with the take-home message, introduce the gist of the idea that we're trying to discuss, and then have a discussion afterwards whenever you have time. Now, there's an advantage to doing it that way in terms of being part of the discussion in the community, because very often when you come and participate in these discussions, not only you hear that idea and you hear people's thoughts about it, and maybe you change your ideas about doing certain things, you can also pick up ideas or maybe collaborators for your long format HOAs. You might also take ideas for your own business. Now, does that mean that for all these shows I'm going to be doing most of the talking? Absolutely not. If you have something to say, if you have something on your head, you want to get people's opinions about it, let's say you can treat us as a little focus group, or there is something in your head, you have ideas that you just absolutely want to share. If you're like me, you just constantly want to share. You're welcome to come as a guest and introduce your idea in less than 5 minutes, and we can go back into the community and introduce it. But in order to be able to be a guest at this show, you kind of have to contribute a little bit in the discussions in the community. So I hope that you will like this format. I decided to try it, and in life I think you should always try different things, and there are other things that I wanted to say. Let me check my notes. Now, so let's go to the idea for today. The idea or thought for today is about how do you go about doing something differently. In today's business landscape and in marketing landscape and anything you're doing, everything is so changing so much that you have to be nimble. And in order to be top on people's minds, you not only have to be consistently doing things, but you also want to change things up to stand out, to be noticeable, and also to show that you kind of have within your own related field, you have kind of an ability to be a leader, to be a trendsetter. So how do you do that? You start with listening. So if you're doing some things regularly, you might want to either stop doing it like I did, but you don't necessarily have to, and start listening to see what is missing. What is it that you can do differently that others aren't doing? Take a look at how people are responding to the way you and people like you are doing, and see what needs you can meet. In terms of the Take5 HOA, I want to meet the need of people that really want tips and ideas and a place to share their thoughts. But you know, we all have businesses to run, or we have jobs, or we have nonprofits to run. We don't always have time to participate in a long HOA. And it's good to have a place where you can do things on your own terms, do it at your own pace. So listen to what everybody's doing, look at what everybody else is doing, and then come up with an extreme of doing things totally differently, like the way I'm doing it. I'm going way to the short end of Hangouts. Probably my Hangouts for now is going to be the world's shortest HOAs. But this is something different, and it might be helpful for people. And again, when you come up with a new idea, don't worry about testing it. Just go ahead and test it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't matter. But I'm hoping that this Take5 HOA is going to be providing the value that I'm hoping it would bring to your busy life. So again, thank you for listening. These HOAs are going to happen every Monday at noon PST. So if you're in the West Coast, you can take 5 minutes of your lunchtime and listen to the idea and see what you think of it, and come back and contribute. And make sure to join the Google Plus community. Now, in terms of RSVPs, those people who RSVP'd yes or maybe are going to be added to an invite list. Those who responded no or didn't respond, I'm not going to invite them again. If you'd like to be removed from the invite list, because I know how it is, keep getting invited, please let me know. And if you'd like me to add you to the list, also please let me know. And invite other people. They might like being part of a shorter HOA. So with that, I'm going to bring that to an end, and I'd love to hear a comment. Thank you. Have a great week.